Welcome back to another Fair Income episode. Boy, oh boy, do we have an episode for you. Today we went down the rabbit hole of all rabbit holes. We spoke about Katt Williams. We spoke about Pleasure Island from Pinocchio, the Epstein list. We even went into the current court case that's going on over the Israel and Palestine conflict. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala grant Palestine victory. Say Ameen. Don't forget to like, comment and subscribe. And we'll see you guys soon. She goes, oh, thank you for coming to Atlanta. You put us on, this, that. Apparently, she was being nice to him at the beginning. And then when the thing came on, she tried to go after him.
Yeah, your perm and your this and that, your talent and yeah.
And then he just went in.
On her.
It's like only one of us is wearing $12 worth of jewelry.
Oh, well.
And then there was another one, but that line was hilarious. One where he goes, you could go there with a packet of cigarettes, basically, and he'll give you all of the jewelry that woman's wearing.
Oh, shit.
Bro, he's too good, bro.
Yeah.
The guy's, bro, come on, man. Wallah.
Yeah, he's sharp. He's sharp with it, you know.
Hey guys, welcome back to the Fair Income podcast. Before we start today's episode, we had something special for you guys. We wanted to try and taste test a new business called Candy Chow. They thankfully sent us an entire care package, a gift box of their new 100% lollies. They're a small business based out of Sydney, and they reached out to us. They said we want to spread the word, spread barakah and blessings and good lollies. So they gave us a care package. We've already ate half, as you guys can see, but we'll do a maybe third taste test in front of the camera. Quickly, let's go, lads.
We might make this a bit of a ritual for lads chats. What do you reckon?
Yeah.
That'll be pretty good.
Oh God, almost went. Listen, if you got a business, you want us to try some food, or you want us to, maybe Ashraf can get a pre-workout or something. If you like to.
I wouldn't mind some, yeah.
Incoming mukbang, yeah.
Send us an email at fairincomepodcast@gmail.com.
Or even message us on Instagram. I can make it easy. But these guys, honestly, do really good work.
This is actually amazing.
Pass that paper.
Yep. There you go, sir.
They, as well, if you guys want, they have gift boxes, stuff like that. So if you guys are having a party, if you want to have an event, and you want to just get some 100% halal lollies, support your local business instead of going buying naturals, allens from supermarkets and stuff like that. They're doing really well. They know how hard it is to find halal sweets. They're making it easy. They are giving an FD10 discount code. Use it at their counter. Tell them you found it from Fair Income, and then inshallah more businesses will reach out to us. And this is for you guys. So I hope you guys enjoy Candy Chow when you go order from them.
Free Palestine.
So what you guys think? Good?
Amazing.
Oh, is it pretty good? Best you've had, or
He's not gonna pass it over.
Young in the touch.
to me, one of the best lollies I've had.
I was saying earlier, remember the way we were talking about, we always have questions about, the brands we need to boycott and all that kind of stuff. Listen, there's no questions. This is a local business, 100% halal made for you. Support your community, guys.
I'll be honest though, my favorite lollies when I go to the shops are the rainbow snakes from Naturals. Like snakes when we used to have kids and I have different flavors all down the same. I think if they add that to the box, for me it would be...
Why rainbow?
I don't know, I just like different flavors in one bite, But this, wallahi, being honest,
like the pythons.
maybe it's because it's homemade, there's less preservatives and stuff like that compared to when you go buy that from the mainstream businesses. It's probably made in a more ethical way and stuff like that. So it is the best lollies I've had. But add a little rainbow snakes and to me it's even better.
Yeah.
Inshallah. How about you guys? Last quickly. We're going to start the ep, man. We're going to start the ep.
Don't change anything. I like it. I love these watermelon ones.
They're all
Wally
done
likes
now,
the
man.
little raspberries. Problem is, there's not enough. You got to send us more.
Done.
Don't forget that.
Candy Chow, this for you. I hope you guys enjoy the episode. And let's begin, inshallah. All right, also, what do you guys think of the Katt Williams podcast?
All right, look, I don't know about you guys, but it was very... Like, if you're a comedian and you're watching that, I think it's more so based on the whole comedian sphere. But I think the thing that got everybody, intrigued by what was going on was all the little tidbits of conspiracies that he had popped in there.
Mm-hmm.
So, you had the Weinstein stuff. Who are you texting, bro?
I'm checking the views on it. 47 million views in 10 days.
Yeah, exactly, bro.
Mental.
Think about it, yeah? A lot of the reason that people wanted to watch it was because of the clips that they saw on TikTok or they saw on social media. And a lot of people were saying that this is just a Katt Williams special. It's a 2-hour special of him basically just doing a comedy bit, yeah?
True.
But all good jokes contain true shit, yeah? So
True.
there was like little bits and
He was
pieces.
calling out so many people,
Right.
man. And I think you have to be following him from the start to understand some of it.
Yeah.
Like, for example, someone like me, I watched Wilder now. I've seen some of his comedy specials and some of his shows, but I wasn't like a hardcore avid every comedy special understanding. Like when you are in the current day event, like obviously it was 2000s, but you kind of know the backlash that's going on, the movie that he was supposed to do and he didn't end up doing, and the split between like friends or business partners. I wasn't in the loop with a lot of that stuff, and then I'm hearing him call out this guy and that guy, Ludacris, Kevin Hart, and I'm like, whoa, man.
I was saying, like, imagine your video made that much of an impact that you got Ludacris back in the studio. Like, Ludacris hasn't been in the studio for how long? And then when you saw that freestyle.
Nah, did he actually come back after the podcast?
He goes, yeah, he goes, like, I think it was a day after the podcast. He went back in the
dang.
studio. He's like, how can I be Illuminati? Da, 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 da. He's like,
Oh,
shut
yeah.
up, man. Hiss, bro. Like,
Too late, yeah.
Way too
stick
late.
to
bro.
be in the background of the Fast and Furious episodes, bro.
Yeah.
But
Even Kevin Hart, I've seen, because I didn't know how much beef they had. They do not like each other, Kevin Hart and Katt Williams.
How bad is it?
They're
I
gonna
didn't
do
see
one-
that.
I just saw him get interviewed, like, Kevin Hart got asked, like, have you seen the podcast with Katt Williams? And you could just see on his face is like,
Damn.
He made a tweet about it.
Kevin Hart?
Yeah, he came out with a tweet about it.
Did he say?
Basically doing like damage control, like defending himself, But I got a question. Did he come across as bitter though?
Katt Williams?
Yeah.
he did a bit. But the thing was,
Like to guys like Kevin Hart and whatnot.
Look, the thing is, you don't know as well because, like, for example, a lot of people look at Katt Williams like he's the GOAT.
Yeah,
For
true.
someone like me who's...
But to you, did he come across as bitter?
I feel like the entire podcast was just talking about other people.
Mm.
You know what I mean? And then he was trying to put other people down and put him up. Like, I wouldn't do that, and they would. And that's where a lot of his... But maybe people respect him for that in the industry.
he was clearing the air. That's what he said, because
Yeah.
a lot of lies were being told. So he wanted to come on there and basically undo the lies. So, but this is the thing about him, yeah. Like, you hear a lot about what he does for the people. So, for example, when he said at the end of the podcast, he's like, I'll go to a show from a comedian that nobody knows and I know he's not making any money. And then he'll send a woman with money to go give it to that person. But he does it anonymously or whatever it is. And he doesn't say that outright. He says, if a woman walks up to a comedian and then randomly gives them a bag of money or whatever it is, then after a show, he's like, then that's good for people, every time he gets paid 100K to go to a town, maybe he'll throw 10K back into that community. So there's elements. Does he have? Did anyone fact check whether or not he actually orphaned 7 children?
No, do you want to check that?
No,
There's-
they said he...
He looks like the type to
yeah.
have 7 kids though.
He adopted 7
Yeah.
kids.
Adopted.
He adopted.
Oh,
That's what they
adopted.
said. He doesn't have a wife or anything
Wow.
like that. He's never been married, actually. Adopted 7 kids. Because he
Yeah.
goes, like, financially, I can take care of them. And I don't know.
Someone threw a theory out there that he threw in, all of those lies. So, like, how he would say some true stuff
I heard
and then
this
he'd
theory,
throw
yeah.
a lie in, yeah?
Mhm.
Oh.
And it was just to test. Like, say, if somebody, for example, calls him out on those lies, he goes, okay, but do you see what I mean when I say if you come on a podcast and you say something and then nobody questions you about it, everyone automatically believes it. And he basically, like, links that back to all the comedians that went on there and were telling lies, and he's basically proving his point.
Yeah.
Oh,
When you
wow.
tell so many truths, the lies start to become...
You don't realize it.
Yeah, you don't realize it properly.
Yeah.
You go like the little things, like you mentioned on the other episode the other day, the 40-meter dash. You know what I mean?
That
Little
was the
things,
biggest BS
like
I've heard.
like
yeah.
little things like that. Him reading 3,000 books in like 1 year or something
Yeah.
along those lines. It's like those things you overpass it
Or
because he's-
reading at 3, like, or getting accepted into college, or
Yeah.
offered a college scholarship at 7 or something.
And when you listen to it, it doesn't like phase you. It's like, okay, cool. It's not that big of a deal to the point
But
where
I
like,
see him as if you create one lie, you're most likely going to create other lies. So then how much of the whole thing do I take serious?
so the lie that he tells or whatever, the little things, yeah, has to be to somewhat degree like believable. Do you get what I mean?
Yeah.
So like him reading 3,000 books in 1 year, you know what I mean, somewhat is believable. Do you get what I mean? Like if you're in school or something like that, you read a book, maybe even 2 books every single night. Do you get what I
You've
mean?
heard also like people, there's like audiobooks and then they do it like 3x speed and it's like, oh, I finished the book
Yeah.
in like half a day. You know, that kind of thing. Remember, I think it was like Jay Shetty or something. So he
Yeah.
reads like 3 books a week or 5 books a week.
Yeah,
Because
well,
you can use audio.
No, that was Naval. Naval used to do that. He used
Nah, Jay Shetty did 1 book a day.
Yeah,
Yeah, Jay
like
Shetty's
because the
standards
audiobook,
aren't
if
the
you
best, bro.
if you finish it,
yeah.
told me read the blurb or something. Yeah.
No, that's Naval. Naval also has one where
Yeah.
Naval read like X amount of thousands of books, yeah?
yeah.
And then after he said this on a Joe Rogan episode, and he goes, "Oh no way!" Then later on, when they fact check that, he goes, "I only read the book to a certain page, and once I find it this interesting, then I count that still as a book." You know what I mean?
So people just they run with it.
Yeah.
They maybe like have half a thing to stand on, they stand on it.
So I had to fact check because
Fact check, which was the orphan thing.
Yeah, I don't know what this guy behind the camera is doing. But they said during the union, Katt and his wife, Quadira, had one son and 7 other children. And then Katt adopted to shield them from the foster care system. So it's his kids. Or either his ex's partner's kids, something like that. So he did. They said they did adopt. That's just from straight Google.
I thought you went to every continent and picked one up.
Yeah, same.
That would be hilarious.
Yeah.
Experimenting.
So he has that mindset, like some lies, some truths, and then you can kind of find it in between.
Well, he's an articulate speaker. He's very well spoken. That's one thing about him, you know.
That's what's convincing.
Yeah, like even in like one of the ways, like I remember there was a certain part where he said something, yeah, and then the whole episode, pretty much, or the whole like listening thing, whatever, it was just Shannon Sharp ad-libs background noise for bloody Katt Williams. You know what I mean? Katt Williams would say something and he would just give the biggest, well, you're like all of those type of stuff, you know, randomly.
Hype man.
And then there was this one part in the episode where he got fact-checked about the years of something. You guys might have remembered.
Yeah.
Or when he folded his arms.
Yeah, something like this. And he fact-checked.
Like it's like an Illuminati thing.
No, not
I
that
thought
bit,
it was
not that
like
bit.
the Steve
Hilarious.
Harvey, the show he made. Like someone said, like he didn't make a show until this, and then they
Yeah,
they
and then
showed
it was like
someone in the
The years,
yeah,
yeah.
someone called it out from
And
the
he
back.
called it out in the background.
Yeah.
And if you listen to that bit and you see the way that like he continued on speaking, you know, like even the way that he had like a PR team almost on the spot, the way that he thought on the spot in order to like get himself out of that, you know what I mean? Because if you're gonna say something as big as that, then I don't know, like the years have got to add up to some degree, you know?
People actually made a video about the receipts that he's talking about.
Yeah, yeah.
And they were
Is that what
actually-
Ahmed
he
said
was
in the group chat?
He was spitting facts. That receipts thing. Yeah,
Yeah,
he said
yeah,
so. 1998, he did say a joke, and then that Cedric the Entertainer 2 years, 3 years later used the same joke at another thing. So it was actually proven that what he was saying was true. But that's, I guess, a part of the illusion is like he's trying to cover in, or he's trying to amalgamate lies and the truth.
With a lot of it, yeah.
Yeah. So people can get confused, and then he can, but basically, bro, this is the funny thing. Yeah.
It's like kids, bro. Sorry, you can like say
No,
a
no,
funny
no,
thing.
Go ahead.
It's like kids, bro. You know, like kids when, like, no, I won't mention that story. But it's like, you know, when kids, when they tell you something, you know what I mean? And you believe them to some sort of degree because they're saying that sentence they said, they've actually said a truth in it, you know? But the whole sentence in terms of like, let's just say, hey, I went to the park today. You know what I mean? But then after the park he went today, yeah, was on his game online or something along those lines. But he actually went to the park. It's like, it's believable, you know? But when they say that so much, it's like, unless you're paying attention to the reality of what they're actually saying, then you won't pick up on those nuances.
But I think Shannon Sharp said like he wasn't the most well versed on all this stuff. Like he did his research and stuff, but there's certain things he says with most of his guests he can't deny it because he doesn't know.
Can someone explain how Shannon Sharp even landed that gig?
He said he's been doing it for like a year. I watched another podcast where he spoke about it. And he said
He's been doing what for a year?
He's been trying to get Katt Williams for like a year.
To speak
He
out
said
about.
from 2022, the entire year of 2020 and the entire year 2023 to get him.
Yeah.
And then he just made it happen.
Work, bro.
Yeah.
Whatever he did
It was
work.
worth it, yeah.
Wow. it was
47 million views, 10
What we
days.
wanted.
38 in 5.
And everyone's talking about it.
You
Yeah,
know
everyone's
what?
like-
But one thing that was funny is the fact that nobody can actually turn around and say, you know what, Katt Williams isn't that funny.
Yeah, he's
I have not heard
Yeah,
anybody go
that's
after
true.
him for saying, you know what, maybe you're overrated comedian, maybe
Yeah.
you're talentless. That's why you're bitter and you're doing all these things because you're not good at your thing.
yeah.
He's not only is he rich. Did anyone actually go after and watch the video of him caning that lady on the radio station?
I seen that.
Bro,
Yeah.
that was hilarious.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She brought him on. She pretended like she was gonna be nice to him. on
Is this the Breakfast Club one?
No, it's a different one.
Some
So
older lady.
yeah, it's an older African American woman. She was like on a radio show. Apparently, she's not even the star of the show. She's like the third chair.
Yeah.
And then she goes, "Oh, thank you for coming to Atlanta. You put us on this, that." Apparently, she was being nice to him at the beginning, and then when the thing came on, she tried to go after him,
Yeah, your
like-
perm and your this and that, your talent and yeah.
and then he just went in.
On her.
It's like only one of us is wearing $12 worth of jewelry.
Oh, well.
And then there was another one, but that line was hilarious. One where he goes, you could go there with a packet of cigarettes, basically, and he'll give you all of the jewelry that woman's wearing.
Oh, shit.
Bro, he's too good, bro.
Yeah.
The guy's, bro, come on, man. Wallah.
Yeah, he's sharp. He's sharp with it, you know?
Sometimes, bro, you know, like, I think, and this is something that I think everybody can see. It's like, you know, when somebody's really good at their craft, it automatically kind of like gives them a leeway to say some wild shit, and nobody tests them on what they're saying.
Mhm.
I don't know if that's his
style.
No, that was his intention by doing all this stuff, because like for example, yeah, like Adesanya doing some wild stuff, yeah, like for example, nail polish and then the beads. I'm always gonna come back to it for some reason, but because he's so good at his thing, I was like, I'm not gonna ask any questions. Obviously, Sean Strickland went after him, but it's like everybody else is like.
But Adesanya is not a fair example. Let's just say let's reverse the roles. Let's just say if Kevin Hart done the same thing.
Like what?
Let's just say he called out everyone in the industry. He went on a rant. He said all these half lies and whatever, blah, blah, blah. Would he have got that same...
But that's not his style. That's the difference. Katt Williams' style was to expose, and he does that in a lot of his things. You know, like we were
has he exposed in the past before?
Like
or was
like
this...
his comedy skit is like calling out people and then talking about issues going on, this
like
and that.
But I thought a lot of this stuff was him holding it, like that was swept under the rug.
I think,
and then he's been wanting to come out about a lot of this stuff.
Now it's more about specific people in the industry. Like he goes, us two in the Freemasons, and I had to pick one. Or I wouldn't dress up as a girl, and I wouldn't do this and that. So he was more talking about personal experiences. But a lot of his, he said 19 comedy specials that were hour long each. So a lot of those are calling out people, situations, the president, and life for Iraq war.
He did one about Michael Jackson. That's hilarious.
Yeah.
He goes, in my room, my house, he goes, if I want to attract women, he goes, I get things that women like. I don't necessarily like them, like silk pillowcases and stuff.
Yeah.
He goes, why you got a Ferris wheel in your house? Like,
You're trying to attract,
come on, put two and two together, bro. That's class. Like, and some guy did a TikTok about it. He goes, look how this guy came on and did one episode, one thing, and look how every single comedian came from underneath the rocks and started responding, and like within a day.
Facts.
Within 2 days.
Facts.
He's like, look at the effect that Katt Williams had on the industry. And beyond that as well, he goes like, bro, he got Ludacris in the studio. He's like, what the hell? He goes, some guy goes, in GTA 4, Katt Williams was in the game doing a stand-up in front of nobody in the room. So he's basically, obviously, like, you have to do the voiceovers. So he did a whole stand-up bit in GTA 4 with nobody in the room. And apparently he killed it. Everyone was like, it was actually one of the funniest things. Yeah. So they're like, you want to talk about elite, how good you can be as a comedian.
Yeah.
They're like, you look at Katt Williams, you look at Dave Chappelle, you look at that guy Bernie Mac. He actually made me go in and watch Bernie Mac now.
Yeah.
Like I never knew about Bernie Mac, but that guy's hilarious, bro.
Yeah, I think
only from some movies, only from some African American movies.
Yeah, I think as they talk about Katt Williams being like the pioneer. Sometimes he might not be the most well known. Like maybe Kevin Hart is more well known than him. But Katt Williams, like they said, like he changed the game, like making an hour-long special each 6 months to a year, like making that a norm. Where before like social media and the internet and stuff, people would have the same special and use it for year and year and year, and just move to different states. And the only way to, like listen to that special is to be there, maybe buy it on DVD. Where he created the trend where it's like you have to be creative to last in the game. And all these other comedians that were stealing people's work or just weren't creative, dropped off.
You guys,
so a lot of people respect him.
But Katt Williams was known though.
No, but Kevin Hart is more well known.
Yeah, but it's a different audience then. Like in the comedy world, obviously Katt Williams is known as like the guy. But then when you take it outside, then it starts to become like, do people actually know this person? You know what I mean?
The thing
I just don't know how many. Like he's known and he's
on
a celebrity and stuff.
Yeah.
But he's not like the most popular celebrities and stuff like that.
Yeah,
That's where Kevin Hart becomes a bigger celebrity.
Yeah.
But as a comedian in the comedy world, Katt Williams will be your OG pretty much, your guy.
Yeah, but like even if, for example, now you look at Dave Chappelle in comparison to Kevin Hart, he's not as big of a global superstar as Kevin Hart is, but we can all agree that Kevin Hart is not even close to being funny.
Yeah, Kevin Hart is more of a movie star now, and even his movies they're all like 5 out of 10s.
Yeah, but like if you make enough of them, he doesn't care, bro.
I know, but like, what movie was actually like? I maybe have to go through his list, but I'm like, damn, I can't wait to rewatch that or something.
When's the last movie that you've watched The Rock be good? No.
Same thing.
Was any of the Jumanjis good? Not really.
Wahlberg. Nah. The Rock, bro. These guys, they understand that there's like a glitch in the system. All I gotta do is be in enough movies to make enough money.
You're right, wallahi, you're right. And that Katt Williams special made me realize that. It's like, because someone says, oh my God, you're so funny, you like Kevin Hart, or something along those lines. Like, it's almost become synonymous, you know what I mean? Stop being a joke star, something along those lines, yeah? But then when you think about it for a second, it's like, okay, cool, I never I wasn't rolling on the floor laughing. You know what I mean? I wasn't dying. Or I'm not going to go quote Kevin Hart again to the other person and be like, hey, yo,
But
that
I
was
think
that
that's
funny
the
joke.
difference where, for example, we don't know actually how creative Kevin Hart is and The Rock or Mark Wahlberg. It's like when you listen, I listened to a recent podcast by BJ Novak.
Yeah.
Ryan from The Office, who wrote the lines and stuff. He goes, we used to write the lines for The Office, and Michael Scott, what was his actual name? Steve Carell used to say, no, that isn't what's it called? That's not how you should do the joke. And he would change it. He used to shift the narrative for the episodes. He'd be like, this is more funny. No, that's not how you should say that. And he used to have that creative side of it.
I think Jim was the same.
Maybe. I know Jimmy's a director
there
now.
was a few of them actually doing stuff like that.
Yeah, but it's like they have that creative side.
Yeah.
If Kevin Hart had that skill set,
I think
he could make
does.
his movies are all
He has
fives,
a-
bro.
No.
That's what I'm talking
No,
about.
but I
Who,
think
Kevin
he
Hart?
has.
Yeah, now.
Well, actually, there's one good movie.
Which one?
A decent one.
Tell me.
Like, as in, like, it's not a 5.
Don't say right along, please.
No, it's not. I'm trying to
5 from
remember.
5?
I watched it, and maybe it was either because I was brain dead, because I remember watching this
That
on
plays
the
a part, bro.
on the bus.
Because it is a type of like, his movies are like
Okay.
you don't have to concentrate too much. You just watch it like it's just casual viewing.
But I don't think it was funny because of him. It was maybe funny because of the other girl that was in it. What's the movie where that school? It's a recent movie.
Oh, I know who you're talking about.
Central
man. I don't know
Intelligence?
the lady.
No, not
Nah.
Central Intelligence.
When he goes to, it's like after school thingy. When
Yeah,
it's after
Tiffany Haddish, I think is on it.
Oh, she's not funny.
night
bro.
school, yeah,
Yeah,
that
yeah,
one.
no.
Night School.
Nice.
That was one.
Oh, she's
Do you like that?
terrible, man.
Yeah, I reckon that's a decent one.
Yeah, you were
Like-
like,
like-
I
like-
think you're
You might
tired,
have been
bro.
brain dead, yeah.
Yeah,
You're
yeah,
brain
yeah.
dead.
You know what? I was watching it.
It's
I was
rated
going for-
27 on Rotten Tomatoes. Just so you know.
Out of.
27%, like 2.7.
Okay, then I was brain
And
dead.
5.6 on IMDb.
You know where I was watching it? I was watching it from Madrid to Granada the day that I was going on
okay.
the bus, and I was
Flex.
just yeah. Sorry, I had to.
No, but like,
On
look,
the bus.
you know what I mean? Where if you have this creative, maybe if you're a comedian, like that's your nature, you look at something and be like, that's not that funny. Like The Office came from Ricky Gervais, who was a comedian. He made the whole show, the first 2 seasons. American got inspired and prolonged it.
Doesn't it say more about us though? A little bit.
What, Australia?
No. Just like as like
In
consumers, you know, like we would consume that, not blink an eye, and just run with it, and it just becomes the norm after a while.
Beautiful. Anything else on the comedians you guys got? What's been happening?
I did want to talk
How
about.
about just comedy in general, comedy movies?
What about go?
Confirmed they're not as good as they used to be. Every comedy
I
movie
think
is
that's.
pretty.
Would you say movies in general? Like comedy movies, not.
Look, the hard thing is you have a metric, like each year maybe 1 or 2 good movies normally do come out, but obviously when you look at a period, it's hard to know. And we have 1 or 2 good movies each year and stuff. But just comedy movies have just been dead for like the last 10 years.
I want to hear what your perspective is on what a good comedy movie is. Name me one in the past that was good.
Just putting your
No,
knowledge to the
don't pull out
test.
receipts. I want you to
It's
talk
actually a
top of
good
your head.
question.
Top of your head.
Okay.
He's trying to give himself time to think.
Yeah,
Ali,
but
go, hit
Just
me.
pause the chewing.
What is it? Comedy movies? What makes it a good movie?
No, just name one in the past that you've liked or rated.
I haven't watched any comedy movies recently, man.
Rush Hour should be number 1 on everyone's list.
Oh yeah, like
Yeah,
OG
put that out
movies.
That's,
Yeah,
that's a good one.
That's probably. I've never not watched
There's not
Rush
many
Hour,
like that though.
but that's what I'm telling you.
Yeah.
Like I can watch it now, and have the same. You know, like when you watch things and you're like, I want to watch this
Generational? You would
because
say
of,
generational humor?
because I want to watch this because of nostalgia,
Yeah.
and it wasn't as good as you watched it the first
I
time.
hate that feeling, bro.
Proud
that
Family
stuff's
was
a-
that.
Which one?
Proud Family. You know, when I went back to watch Proud Family, I'm like, bro,
You
this
start
is
to
shit.
realize, yeah.
What do I like this for?
You know the good thing about Rush
There's
Hour as
certain
well
age
is
you watch it.
Rush Hour, regardless of what demographic you come from, you can still watch it as well.
True.
You know, like I know if my grandparents watch that, they will love it. Or at least they might not understand it, but they'll see an Asian guy and a black guy just yelling at each other for like 3 hours in insane whatever. And if you understand the jokes just a little bit, whatever. And plus, guess what? The good thing about Rush Hour, I'll tell you why it's high on the list as well, is you know how they say things about music where they're past their time? You know, they become classics, where even if you put that same song or album or whatever in a different generation, would that generation still appreciate it? There's very little songs like that, very rarely songs come out like that, yeah? Same thing with movies. I know that Rush Hour 10 years ago, I was laughing at it. And I watched it last year, I remember sitting down in between writing a thesis, you know, and I was still laughing at it. It's one of those things that is just straight classic, you know?
I think it's one of those movies as well that.
And it's quotable. That's the funniest, best part of it all.
Yeah.
That's
You
what
know?
makes a good
Yeah.
comedy
I
movie.
think
You
it's
can
like, for
quote it.
example, like movies like The Hangover and stuff like that. They're comedic movies that are funny, but they push the boundaries of like age. Can't watch it with the kids, you know, like when you're young and stuff like that, because they go a bit too far in
Yeah.
certain things. Like for an adult, it's funny. But the thing about Rush Hour is like you can watch it with kids. You go watch your family. You're not gonna be like, oh, there's too much swearing and too much of this, which is normal in comedy movies with like rude scenes and stuff like that.
Speaking of Rush Hour, are you gonna answer the question or you?
Is there another one?
There's 3, bro.
Like Step Brothers.
That's good.
Step Brothers, but you can't watch it with kids though. That's the thing.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
that's
that's the thing.
another
Like,
one,
that's,
yeah.
if that's your metric with kids, you know. But then,
But hellos, anyways,
Yeah.
I'll change gears because we're speaking about Rush Hour. Anyways, we might as well just jump to the Chris Tucker allegations.
what's the Chris
Epstein,
Tucker?
Epstein Island.
Was he? Oh, I.
You know there was a conspiracy
There
theory.
is a list.
Bro, do you know there was a conspiracy theory? Yeah. And obviously, I don't believe this one to be true. Like, I just want to preface that, yeah. But there was this theory that, what do you call it? Every time some big allegation or something in regards to Epstein's island or the whole Epstein case happens, there's something that overthrows or overshadows it in regards to in the media. Something bigger happens, you know. And then when the Epstein list was revealed, or revealed a day later or whatever, 2 days before what ended up coming out,
Ukraine, yeah? Ukraine and Russia?
the first time it would have been Ukraine, Russia. I got to find out what it was the first time. There was something big.
But either
you
way,
know?
it's like
and it
most
might have been
times-
it might not even be law, something big in like pop culture enough that everyone on Twitter goes and like tweets about
That's
it.
true. Trending more.
It takes over.
What is it?
The Travis Scott concert when the guy, the kiss that died.
Epstein list would have been higher
Nah,
than that, surely.
it was something a bit more recent than that. That was the Houston thing.
Yeah.
Or maybe...
It was something, but either way, this time it was the Katt Williams thing. You know what I mean?
But they
Where-
can't
Bro, what do you
control
mean
when that
Katt Williams,
podcast
bro?
comes out.
There's a whole genocide happening, bro.
yeah, no, but I'm talking about. I'm talking about.
Yemen, and then Palestine as well. There's a whole court case, which you're going to talk about.
No, I'm talking about the from the pop culture side of things, bro. What?
We stand with South Africa.
Yeah.
Bro, legends, bro.
Alhamdulillah.
Wallahi, man. Can you believe that?
Alhamdulillah.
Wait, let's stick to one conversation. We'll get to like that kind of stuff later.
Yeah, but look, this is what I understood from the situation. Yeah, you're saying that they're having these conversations about the Epstein list,
Yeah.
but they're throwing it in the mix with all this other news that's even more important in the grand scheme of things.
Yeah, and one thing to support it or to a degree that gives that theory some validation was the Epstein, the flight logs and all of that kind of stuff. Everyone that visited the islands, the court cases, was meant to be revealed in like on the 1st of January or something along those lines, you
Yeah.
know, or first, second, like in that first week of January, but it got delayed to when, like the 22nd or something, late January, you know. But then that got pushed back a bit earlier to in that just that past week or whatever, you know. So,
There is a list.
and to be honest, bro, with a lot of the names mentioned on that list, and bro, that should have got more attention.
What? Who's on the list that stood out? Because I was preparing. I was listening
Trump.
to-
Stephen
Chris-
Hawking,
Yeah,
that's the one.
Stephen-
Stephen Hawking, that's
Yeah.
the
I
one.
heard he's been running. He was running around the island.
Yeah.
Yeah, like
All
gets
the
up
names
out the
there,
wheelchair,
he
yeah?
got off the wheelchair.
Bro, like the
It's
Simpsons
vibing.
were making all of those, what's it called? All of those references and stuff, bro. That's
See what
Simpsons
Andrew
are-
Schultz said? Andrew Schultz said, "Oh, like there will be no chance in this world that I would take the piss out of a disabled person." You know what I mean? But as soon as I see this guy on that list, all he did was drop all his jokes that were related
All the
to
one he's
Stephen
holding
Hawking.
in, yeah? For years.
Yeah.
Astaghfirullah, lazim, bro. This guy's
And what with the list is it like confirmed that things happen on this island, or did you go on the island for a holiday? Like, what is the
Like
what's the list saying?
to what degree what they did on the list? The people that were named, what they did on the island is unknown. Do you get what I mean? That's still being like
But is it
revealed.
most- is the
But
only
this, the list contains flight logs, people that have visited the Epstein's island.
Okay.
That's what it
Yeah.
is. You know.
Why else would they go to the island? Was there other stuff going on?
Well,
Was there holidays and stuff, or was it
business
really?
opportunities.
business opportunities. He's
Okay.
very influential. He has connections. Like he might have wanted something they had, and they had something they
So
wanted. You know,
these guys aren't cancelled or anything?
Epstein was known to befriend. Yeah, very powerful people, influential in different fields. You know, like before he even became famous or whatever. Before he became Epstein, like before Trump and all of that kind of stuff. This is in his like Netflix documentary. He befriended this guy that was a Nobel Peace Prize winner, some expert scientist at the same university that he
Harvard.
attended.
Harvard, yeah?
No, it wasn't.
Stanford?
It wasn't Harvard. It was another university.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure it was in New York.
Selkowitz or something
Something like that. It was like
Yeah,
this
yeah.
university that he befriended. You know what I mean? And Epstein's whole his identity started at the actual university because he was so smart, whatever. Then he became a professor there, and he got kicked out of that what's it called, university, because of the fact that like he'd be extra kind to the young ladies or like the students there and whatever. And that's like the first time like someone had realized something off about like Epstein, you know. And then he went off to go start a hedge fund or whatever, some money association thing, you know. But
Money association.
what do they call it? That thing where they manage assets.
Like hedge fund.
Hedge fund, yeah.
Oh, so I called I had it right.
So it's this economic stuff, bro.
Yeah.
Finance. But
But there was someone else though, other than Steve
Chris
Hawking.
Tucker was there. They said that Stephen Hawking, Donald Trump, there was a couple of directors. Harvey Weinstein, obviously.
Those guys weren't surprising. Like seeing guys like Donald Trump,
Kate Blanchett,
Michael Jackson,
apparently.
Leonardo DiCaprio.
Yeah, bro, what the hell was that?
Who's
Callum
that?
Hudson-Odoi was on the list.
What?
See that flight, bro? He was on the flight list, bro.
Doing
Callum
what?
Hudson-Odoi.
Just chilling.
He's trying to get a big contract.
I don't know, bro. What the hell's that?
It's bad.
And I was trying to clock. Hang on a second. Maybe he wasn't underage at the time, because when were these flight logs?
Yeah, way back like
How old
2000.
is he now? 25.
It was 2005. This goes
Maybe
back
that's why he's
to
not living up to his potential, huh?
yeah.
Yeah,
Distractions.
he's
Like
on the wrong wing.
teens were being groomed as early as 2005,
Is
whatever.
this is a big thing trending on Twitter and stuff, or not really now? The list and people.
Yeah, I think, but the biggest thing that's trending is Stephen Hawking and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah,
you know,
the
so
memes and
He's taking
whatever.
them piss out.
oh, 100%, bro. They ran amok with that, bro.
Hilarious.
But seeing guys like Michael Jackson, Donald Trump, or whatever, it's like, it's not surprised. It's like finding a fork in the kitchen, whatever. It's there, cool. Like I'm not surprised, you know.
Was it never
Donald
happened?
Trump's
I've never
everywhere.
heard that before in my life. That's amazing.
It's a good one, yeah.
I'm finding a fork in the kitchen.
Yeah, like where else are you gonna expect a fork?
Where'd you pull that one out of?
Like from the dome.
Nah, bro.
straight from the dome. I don't know if I should be offended or
that's
if
not
I should
like
take that as a compliment.
It's like you're not smart enough to think of that.
I stole that out of the Hawking's book, bro. But yeah, bro.
Some bad chewing, bro.
I thought Sis was bad.
Huh?
I thought Sis's chewing was bad.
Oh my bad.
This candy chlo is a bit too good, huh?
Are you
A
guys
bit too addicting.
following the court case?
South Africa?
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw what's been happening. The 2-hour speech from the South African side that no one aired. Yeah, South Africa just... I listened to some of it. Obviously, it was long. It was interesting to see how well presented the South African argument was, because they literally brought evidence from everything, which was obviously... And a lot of social media, the proof of what different Israeli leaders have said. You know, like normally that's something we speak about, but to bring it to the international court is a big thing. And then to listen to some of the rebuttals made by their Israeli lawyers was honestly a joke. Like at least from us, because we're biased, but listening to it, like you could
What
see...
were some rebuttals that were made?
Like, for example, I saw a video on the hospital, I shared it on my Instagram account. You could see the South African... Hey,
The camera turned off.
okay. This guy's asleep.
It's his camera. It's his camera.
But you just see like the South Africans, how they're like, these guys unprepared, you know, like how you can't bring these type of excuses to the international court. It's like they said that I think the rebuttal was 3 hours long, so 180 minutes. And in that time, the word Hamas was used 230 times.
Isn't
Every
that
minute.
The
goddamn
Hamas
camera?
counter.
Yeah, the
So it's
counter.
less than every
37,
minute.
yeah.
And that isn't even what's happening at the international court. It's like, is Israel committing war crimes? That's the question. Why is Hamas being mentioned every single minute?
It was basically a whataboutism argument.
Yeah.
That's what it was.
And
We're
it's also
witnessing-
subconscious to keep the name like rolling people's head.
Mm.
It's like, oh yeah, Hamas is still part of this. This
Mm.
We're
about
witnessing
them.
history, aren't we?
Yeah.
That's
Bro.
the craziest part of it all.
What I would love to see, is, or what I'm hanging to see is,
Hey,
inshallah,
the mic.
when they finally convict these guys, if they do, if they end up finding them guilty of war crimes and trying to commit genocide, I want to see what they do about it after.
I
Which
think
will
it'll be
happen, that will-
inconclusive. That's what's gonna be. That's what it's probably
No,
gonna
by
lead
the,
to.
by the time they get some sort of verdict, it'll be down the line. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think the
Sure.
point of this case is for some, like, preliminary action to be taken right now. You know what I mean? Something to
Time
be.
is of the essence, but they're still bombing people while they go.
That's the
Doesn't
whole.
make sense.
Every
But that's
day
the
is-
whole point of the case. Do you get what I
Yeah.
mean? Where at least they're not arguing about the intricate facts of like the case. You know what I mean? Like the Hamas situation and all that kind of stuff. It's more so, hey, there's a genocide taking place, and they're trying to take the attention away from the genocide conversation and put it onto, hey, they did it to us first. You know what I mean? They're saying, don't worry about who did who first and all that kind of stuff. What you're doing right now is essentially committing a genocide to innocent civilians. It needs to stop. You know what I mean? Because obviously America's not going to have a part to play in this. What do you call it? The British are not going to have a part to play to this. So this is the only time. And if this doesn't get some sort of action occurring after that speech or whatever, man, like we were all talking about how like the United Nations, like we lost faith in it and all that kind of stuff. They were useless or whatever.
Yeah.
But then now it even shows like the
International
ICJ,
court,
you know? Bro, you know the thing that pissed me off about this whole like situation as well? Like, do you see Justin Trudeau coming out speaking about after the case was presented to the courts?
What did he say?
He essentially said in a nutshell, I do not agree with the things, like I have 5 cases, the Canadian guy as a country, have 5 cases at the ICJ, and we have full faith in it, whatever, the integrity of it, blah, blah, blah. But the case that was brought by South Africa, we don't agree with it. And it's just like, fam, like there was cases, there was evidence presented, like the whole world can see it. Yet you stand in front of your government, your country as their leader, and still say, like, I can't see nothing.
And the thing is, like, what I fear more is I think there's 15 judges, plus one from Israel, one from South Africa, so 17 altogether. And I have one from, like, majority countries, China, USA, Australia.
The Somali one. Did you know that? Wallah.
Yeah, there's a Somali.
Right, like
call,
that.
yeah.
Inshallah.
Why'd you say serious?
Yeah, why'd you say serious?
I just didn't know where they'll get it from.
What do you mean by that, huh?
Because I said the major countries, because I saw those big countries saying, because I saw Australia say that they had an Australian judge, then they had America, and they said
Singapore has
one.
one.
Said countries that would stick with America / Israel. That's why, and I was showing those countries, which is what I saw.
The Lebanese one as well.
Yeah,
I'm actually being serious.
but I would not trust the judges.
Start screaming for no reason.
Yeah,
He's a self-hating Lebanese person.
alhamdulillah.
But
Go, finish your
Yeah,
point.
no, it's just very interesting to see it, and inshallah, it'll
you know, even
the
with the
right
ca-
decision will come out of it.
Even with the Canadian thing, you know what the problem with it as well is? It's like when like Joe Biden and his staff and his cabinet members or whatever speak about the genocide that's happening, they use words that are very, very PR, you know, where they will tippy-toe around the situation, blah, 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 you know what I mean? Even though that they know what it's happening, they'll still tippy-toe around it. But then to come out after this case has been presented by the South Africa, you know, and it has the support of majority of the countries, because even a lot of the countries there was only like 3 countries that abstained and 2 countries that voted against it. So majority of the world voted in favor of the case that was presented. And for you to still come out and say like, hey, yo, like it, like blatantly with like direct words, it's like, fam, like, you know?
And you can also see, like, for example, the leaders of these countries. And then beyond the leaders of these countries, you have the news and the media outlets that are supposed to be our trusted sources of information at a time like this, where everybody's trying to throw around so much dirt to murky the waters in order for us not to be able to see what the truth is and what the truth isn't. Yeah, that, you know, we've kind of lost faith in these being our pillars of the truth.
We shouldn't have had faith in him to begin with.
But like,
Yeah.
to be honest
But
with
he's
you,
just
bro,
confirmed it.
if you come out of nowhere and say we're gonna tell you what's happening objectively, yeah, and we're gonna put it out there in a way where you guys are gonna be able to make your own decisions, but we're gonna give you the facts, yeah, that means to the people that are listening or the people that are watching that we should be in a position where we can critically think and analyze what's going on based on the facts that you've provided, and you're not swaying my views. See, that's the thing that happened, like when 9/11 occurred, and they decided to do all of this, not 9/11, sorry, when the war on Iraq occurred, like, there was so much evidence stacked against America, but they started throwing around slogans, and they did all this marketing, like, are you with us or against your country? Like, and there was this, there's this documentary I actually recommend everyone watching. It's called All Governments Lie. Yeah, it's on, I think, Amazon Prime. Bro, the guy that that made that, bro, he basically laid out the law, and he showed how governments over the years have actually put so many or fed so many lies to their people in order for them to be able to do what they do. And what tripped me out the most is, like, we're not talking about, okay, like, this is like, for example, look at Israel versus Palestine, yeah? I can see it from obviously my experience in the marketing world, yeah? But this is a marketing, bro, this is literally a marketing battle. This is Coke versus Pepsi. But we're talking about lives, like human lives here, yeah? We're talking about there's a whole lot of people getting killed and not knowing why they're getting killed or not being involved in anything. But there's just powers that be at play that are attacking one another, and they're like, all the people that aren't involved, that are watching this from outside of this very the conflict point or the place where it's occurring, all of the people that are watching, we need to convince you that we're not doing anything wrong here. So how do we do it? Bro, how are we looking at Israel throwing money at the guy from Big Time Rush. What's his name? You know, I think his name's James. What's his name?
I didn't know this. There's a guy named James, but I don't know
from
the
Big
situation.
Time Rush, not the popular one, the one that wanted to be the singer and then got the sack because he wasn't that good.
Okay,
Oh,
what
yeah.
happened?
Yeah.
He got money from the IDF.
Bro, he went to Israel and he sat down.
Is he Israeli? Like,
I
because
don't know if
normally
he's
a lot of
Israeli. I
them
think he
go.
might
Like, so
be.
like Jerry Seinfeld went and
Like
supported
there was
them.
some
whatever.
ladies, or they come and then she's like, "Why do I feel emotional? Oh, it's because you're home." Like, shut up, man. Bro, what are you talking about? What am I watching right now? Cause like, what? Why are we watching a bunch of idiots? Like, bro, who are you to even speak about this situation, bro?
Yeah.
Why are you even opening your mouth? Cause like, and we're looking at these guys like take first class flights, get paid extra money to go and sit down with some random people that live in Israel now, and they go in occupied Palestine now, and they're holding the mic to them. Oh, how terrible do you feel, and what do you feel currently? Oh, I feel scared, and my family, and this, that, and it's
That's straight PR.
bro,
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
like what am I seeing right now? Why is this a marketing battle? It's
Yeah,
like
it is a marketing. They say it's the propaganda, like who can spread the more information, which is
But
why they're
that's
saying
war, though.
yeah, of course.
That's the
And
basis of war.
Yeah, but even just the apartheid system, the same in South Africa, what you had to do, you had to control the narrative.
Correct,
What did
yeah.
people think was going on in South Africa? But now it's the first time where something's happened like this with social media, being so like you know Sami Hamdi.
Yeah, yeah.
Listen to the podcast. It was funny when I listened to someone like that who's intellectual on the topic. He goes, "May Allah preserve TikTok." And he was so passionate about it. He goes, because of what TikTok is literally doing.
It's like organic sources.
It's literally like organic sources where you can literally post whatever you want and it can spread to everyone. And they're trying to shadow ban, they're trying to block these channels, they're trying to show what's happening in like Israel and stuff. And then they're actually able to see the haqq and the truth.
Yeah.
Which is
And
why
even,
social media is a good thing
even
now.
that, yeah, social media, YouTube, just the internet overall. The other thing is, bro, at the end of the day, we're all to blame for everything that happens as well, to a certain degree. You know, like when going back to like the government conversation, bro, the government, like as in the American government, like the Bush administration told us, hey, like when the Iraq situation happened, their arch nemesis, whatever, Iran and all that kind of stuff, when that happened, they told us these are the 7 countries we're going to attack in the next 5 years. They came out with an actual statement talking about this. You know what I mean? And they said that publicly. Yeah. Yet when it happens, we're the ones that go and get surprised. You know what I mean? Because they know they can tell us, I guess, what they're going to do. But to some degree, we're not... I feel like also it's that that inferiority syndrome as well to a degree. You know, it's like, okay, cool. And Sam Hamdi speaks about this and he makes a good point about it. It's like, okay, cool. My little one effect doesn't actually have an effect on a global scale. You know what I mean? But we forget that it actually does when that is compounded with you, and 100,000 people.
When you look at history, you see that the impact of one person does change things. Like, for example, Rosa Parks in America. Everyone knows the story. She literally just didn't want to take up her seat. But now everyone knows her, and she sparked the movement. You know, she influenced people. And that's where we look at, like, oh, one person isn't going to make a difference. But I think the big thing that I'm seeing more is, like you said before with the Yemenis, and the Muslims are going against the Yemenis, and then Lebanon and this and that. It's like, we're barely united, which is why a country all the way at the bottom of, South Africa has to go and, non-Muslim country has to support Palestine. Or like no Muslim countries did that earlier.
Yeah, look, bro, the one thing that I find just so stupid about all of this, and just going back to the point that I made about, because I know what marketing is like. It's like, oh, okay, I want to sell this product, for example, skincare. So I've got this tube of skincare product, of lotion, or whatever it is, and I want to sell it. So what do? I'm going to go and give 5K to these guys, a couple of influencers. They're going to show themselves, putting it on their face and saying, I love this product's the best. And then it's going to extract a sale from their audience or people that rate their opinion on this certain thing. It's like, bro, how the hell is like, because the product here is, you're going to let us kill these kids and you're going to let us bomb this country. Like, how did we get to this point, bro? How did we get to this point where we've commercialized death and genocide? Like, what the hell? Like, isn't that like, I don't know if I'm just tripping out because I'm like, obviously I see marketing, I know what it's about and the whole system of it and it's a system of persuasion and so on and so forth. But really, I'm trying to influence your decision.
And justifying genocide.
Yeah.
And that's where there's so much to it, yeah.
Yeah, basically trying to justify it, like showing every day, like this is actually happening and still happening. And it's obviously, what's the word? Like we become immune to it. You're seeing it so often. And it really takes a toll on us, and you don't realize because you're doing it so often.
It's so weird, man. Like, after I saw that guy from Big Time Rush, bro, like, and there was a video. I think I don't know why I went down this rabbit hole. Went down the rabbit hole of like people who are pro-Israel, and I saw these TikToks. It's like, yeah, you may have, and then they put up like Macklemore, Kaylani, and whoever supports the Palestinian cause, and they got some music in the background, like trying to like make a TikTok. It's like flash, flash, flash. Then it's like, but we have, and then they put up these Vampire Diaries guys, and whatever it is, and I'm just like, what the hell are we on, bro?
That's the 13-year-old that just finished left school,
But
bro.
it's true where people look at it like which celebrities on each side.
I know.
And that's where they back their case. It's like, why do celebrities make the moral cause of genocide pro or against? This guy that made a movie 20 years ago
That's true.
on a song.
But
Man,
you know what's also interesting?
Mm.
Speaking of rabbit holes, holes, let's just say.
Tunnels. There is a list.
Are we going to talk about the Jew tunnels in the Jewish tunnels in in New York?
Bro, the funniest thing ever was the other day I was on TikTok and some guy was doing a reaction video to it, and then he goes, bro, there was tweets that surfaced from a guy 5-10 years back.
Yeah. He was from the tunnel.
No, his house was next to those synagogues, yeah? And he goes, I live on the ground floor of my apartment complex,
Yeah.
and I swear to you there's no basement. He goes, I can hear Jews digging underneath my house. It's like,
What
bro,
the hell?
he's like, you guys might think I'm crazy, but I think he's a right-wing activist or whatever it is. I don't know if this is true, but it's like, but anyways, basically everyone was like, bro, now you're tripping out. Why are you being like that? Like, relax, man. The Jews didn't do anything to you, so on and so forth. And then he goes the next day, he goes, I swear to you, I hear Yiddish underneath my apartment. Like, you guys. And then, bro, he goes, you guys owe me. He retweeted these tweets and he goes, you guys all owe me an apology. He's like, not finding the tunnels. And they're like, bro, what the hell are these guys doing? And there was a video online. I don't know if you saw it.
Yeah.
There's like a sewer, and there's like a
Bro.
perfect compartment for a Jew to pop out of the sewer.
Bro, and the hole is like a specific size as well.
Bro.
You know what I mean? If you're a little overweight, like, I feel like also there's like an entry list to that, like.
It's enough for the suit and for the hat.
And
stay
that's
on
it, you know what I mean?
The guy came up for
Yeah.
the clothes.
That's
Bro,
crazy.
it was so freaking hilarious, bro.
It was bad. Well,
Bro, that's-
But then the other thing is like, what goes on under those tunnels? You know what I mean?
Or what did go on?
Where does it lead to?
It's all
It
around.
apparently
It's
went
miles.
from
Other synagogues or no?
apparently went from like, it was like a link. It's like, have you ever played, you know, the COD zombie maps?
Yeah.
There's like, at nighttime there's like a train that links each line or whatever together. I think it's gone from synagogue to synagogue to synagogue.
Maybe. But they said, why did this get released now?
Apparently they're doing
You know?
bath rituals for their women.
no, no.
They-
I don't know about the rituals, but
Yeah.
the thing is, apparently there was a guy in the 1990s or 19,
Mm-hmm.
whatever, he died in the 1990s. So there's two
like a
different
rabbi.
types, two different sects of Judaism. He's like a rabbi. Some of them saw him as the Messiah, some of them didn't. Yeah. So after he passed away, the ones that saw him as the Messiah were trying to enact his plan of expanding the synagogue. So they were doing it against the orders of the other people. So the opposition sect. So what happened was, now these younger generation that they believe are radicalized by that rabbi or whatever it is, they were enacting his plan against the orders of the people who are currently taking ownership of the thing. And then it makes you think, bro, like, I would love to hear the answers. Like,
Of the truth. Yeah, because I even heard that, because these guys are, I think, Hasidic Jews, and they are against Zionism. And they're the American Jews that are with the Palestinians. So they're saying the timing of this is, because there's obviously things that happen under there, they're saying it was more of like a threat. So for example, a couple months ago, they're like, if you stand with us Zionists, we won't tell about your underground tunnels all around New York and what you did there. And they said, no, you're not going to say that because Judaism is 15 million people. You guys are one. You're not going to put us down. We're both Jews. And then now they're like, you keep standing with the Palestinians, boom, we're going to inform people of what's going on, which is why I went everywhere. And then now they just informed what's the tunnels, not what they did in the tunnels, which is maybe the next thing they're saying, hey, if you don't come on our side, we're going to tell people.
yeah, but then doesn't. Yeah,
No, but what
you're not
happened?
gonna know
Yeah,
because
you-
you're not gonna be able to see it.
But
you
that's
know?
what people have. People might have videos. People might have proof.
And
records.
even if they do find out, they do their investigations. That's big quotation marks on the investigations. Then how much of that is going to be true by the time it reaches us or whatever?
But that's
you
the
know?
thing where you can kind of
Are
like.
you saying they're orthodox? They're the guys that were underground with like the orthodox Jews?
All I know is they were against the Zionist state and they're with the Palestinians right now.
Yeah.
That's all I've heard. On obviously, who knows how authentic it is? But from what I've seen and what I've heard, that's what they said.
Yeah.
Yeah, which is which is a popular thing in America. You know, there's as many American Jews as there are Israeli Jews.
That's what's crazy, man.
Yeah.
I don't know if you saw like the whole linkage between Epstein Island and Pleasure Island from Pinocchio. Did you see that?
No.
So
Yeah,
like,
TikTok's a bit
have
deeper than mine
you-
in the rabbit hole.
have you ever watched Pinocchio before? The old
Yeah,
one.
back
the
in
new
that back.
one.
Years
Rewatch it. I think we should all
Pleasure
rewatch
Island?
it. Pleasure Island.
So what's the link between Epstein Island and thingy?
So anyway, so what happens is, yeah, Pinocchio was made in 1940, yeah, and then I'll link back something that I heard from Top G later, yeah. I'll say Top G, everyone's gonna end up cancelling, man. So what happens is, yeah, so what happens is, there was a, I can't reveal the whole storyline of Pinocchio, but I'll get to it. There's a fox who wants to make money. He meets this really, like, sadistic man. He's like, okay, because you want to make some dosh. And the fox is like, yeah, I've been kidnapping kids and throwing them to circuses and stuff like that and making money off them. And then the guy goes, now you want to make some real money? He goes like, well, who do I have to, kill? Because imagine that. Imagine he said, who do I have to kill? Kill. What's worse than murdering someone? He's like, no, don't worry about murdering anyone. Then he started whispering in his ear. And he's like, what? Like this fox that was willing to kill someone is looking at him like, bro, you tripping? Like, did you say that? Like he was surprised by how sadistic this plan was. So he's like to him, nah, we're gonna kidnap, little boys, and take them to Pleasure Island. And
This is
he's
a
like,
Pinocchio movie.
yes, towards
hell?
the end. And he
I
goes,
don't think I've
bro,
seen
bro.
this one.
He goes,
Not the one with the killings.
he goes,
Maybe
but-
this is Pinocchio something else.
no,
TikTok.
this is the thing. This is where the conspiracies are like crazy, yeah. Because then he goes, okay. He goes, but like, aren't their parents gonna know that they're missing? He goes, but they're like naughty boys. They're the ones that the parents don't care about. So if they go missing, it'd probably be better for the parents anyways. It doesn't matter. So it's justifying it. And literally, he goes after that. He goes like, they don't come back as boys though.
Are they gay?
The guys, we don't know.
They
But then
come back
in
as
the
maybe
movie,
Pinocchio.
they come back as in the movie they turn into donkeys.
But what happens if Pinocchio is lying?
It's not Pinocchio's not involved now. Yeah,
Oh.
Pinocchio's one of the
Just in the
Pinocchio's
movie.
one of them that gets kidnapped. He's one of the little boys. He's a doll that turns into a little boy. But anyways, so they go to this island where they get these kids on the fringe. Yeah, so they're on the fringe of society. Their parents don't like them. They're misbehaving, so on and so forth. They want to do things without the repercussions of their actions being held to them. Yeah. So like for example, some kid does the wrong thing. His parents they tell him off, and he's like, I don't care. I want to be a troublemaker. Blah blah blah. So this guy, how he lures them and grooms them is by telling them, I'm gonna take you to a place where you can eat all the candy in the world. There's no rules. You can break things. You can do whatever you want. Blah blah blah.
Now I see the connect between Epstein Island.
He's grooming them.
So
So,
they
what
did the
happens
same.
is,
Epstein did the same thing.
bro, I was watching this one. I think
Epstein
it was
has a right hand woman for
Yeah.
that Maxwell lady.
exactly.
She
See?
done the job for him.
See, this is the thing, yeah. I was listening to a podcast from Zizi Mills. She was talking about a lady.
Who's Zizi Mills?
She's in the UK. She's just
Khalas,
a
yeah.
cultural commentator. She done a podcast with a lady who left the porn industry, and she was speaking about the dark nature of the porn industry. Yeah. So I don't think anyone grows up unless it's this day and age. Astaghfirullah al-azim. But grows up and says, I want to be in the adult industry. I want to be a porn star. No one says that. Yeah.
Or now this young generation, yeah.
No, but see that I'm saying, but this generation,
Yeah,
this
yeah.
society, I don't
Yeah.
know. Astaghfirullah al-azim. I hope not.
Yeah.
Genuinely hope not. But
Because have you heard of OnlyFans before?
yeah, I've heard of it.
This guy's baiting you.
Anyways, let me carry on the story, yeah? So she spoke about, Zizi's like, bro, like, if you didn't like it, why didn't you just leave? Why did you stay in the industry? She's like, I didn't go into my life thinking I wanted to be a part of the industry. She goes, I was 16 years old. My parents were were doing things, and they were working very hard, and so on and so forth. So that I was distracted. They were distracted by work. But when it was my 16th birthday, like me and my friends wanted to be a bit naughty, go out, drink a little bit, and so on and so forth. As you do when you're a kid, when you're a non-Muslim kid, they want to try and do things and explore, party, do ABC. So they went out. So they go to now the places where you're not supposed to be. Like, for example, around strip clubs, around clubs, around, places where the darker corners of society usually inhabit. Yeah? So she's gone out with her friends drinking and so on and so forth, and they're chilling and whatever. And then some lady that looks like a successful, beautiful lady, she's got Louboutin shoes, red bottoms, whatever it is. She's got red bottoms. She's dressed to the nines. She's gorgeous. She has everything they want. She smells amazing. She looks successful. She's got a nice bag. They're looking at her like, whoa. And she's like, you girls look like you're up to no good. You troublemakers, blah, 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 blah. You guys look like you're having fun. What are you guys doing? She was so nice to them. She brought them in. She goes, you know what? Come in with me to the strip club. She's like, I'll help you guys have a real party there. She shouts them drinks. And, as these non-Muslim women, like the non-Muslim girls, they're 16, like someone's shouting them drinks. She's cool. She's, she's being nice to us. She's beautiful, blah, blah, blah. Introducing them to all of the strippers and stuff like that. And they're kind of becoming desensitized to what's going on. And now she goes to them, here's my number. If you ever want to party again, you let me know. I'll take care of you, blah, blah, blah. So now they're not pushing the boundaries. She's kind of slowly, like devil works in stages. Never ever does the devil reveal his true intent. He always works in stages. And we know that from Nadine, yeah? Now they've called her. They want to go back and party with this lady. She brings them in, whatever. Now this time she's kind of thrown in something else in the mix. You want to have fun, really? You really want to have fun? You want to party? Here's coke. Take a snort, everyone. All the girls take a snort. Now they get hooked on it. Now all you see is these girls now are hooked on coke and partying with this lady, and they want to consist. So they come back and she brings them back. Next minute, she's not the same woman. She's angry. She's hitting some of the girls. She's abusing them. She's letting them know. Now the guy who's running the place, like the head of the adult industry, whatever it is, of that whole strip club or whatever, has come in and gone, I've heard you guys have been drinking on my charge and doing drugs on my charge. You guys are going to have to pay me back. And as young girls do, they're shitting themselves. They're like, this guy's dangerous. She's hitting us. We thought she was our friend. We're so surprised, caught him off guard. He's like, there's only one way you can repay it. Now these girls, now you got to think about it. They're hooked on coke, they're hooked on alcohol, they're hooked on all of these things, yeah. And this is what I mean. Like, they don't groom you outright. They don't go, come. You want to make money? So now they've seen all the strippers. They're making so much money. They've seen all these other women. They looked at this lady who's successful, who's groomed them. They're like, wow, there's money to be made. They're so nice to us. Da, da, da. Now they're like, we're in trouble, and we need to do what they're asking of us because we've done A, B, and C wrong. So we have to repay this person. So now they're like, okay, he's like, you're going to have to act in these films for me until you repay what I've done. And then now they're in these films, but they're high on coke, so they're not feeling nothing. And they've basically now, they're addicted to the drug. So now they're consistent. They don't go back home. They run away from home because they can't face their parents. And she goes, she had to leave the life that she had with her parents because how's she going to face them telling them that she's done A, B, and C, and this guy has videos of her doing A, B, and C, and she's on coke now and she's doing A, you know what I mean? And it's like, that's how they get them. That's how they get them, bro. They don't get them. That Ghislaine Maxwell is that lady.
Yeah, because even when she was, what's the right word, grooming the unfortunate victims, yeah, in this case, yeah. And bro, all of this stuff with like the Epstein and all that kind of stuff, it's always BS. I hate like these conversations, but it's like nice mind-numbing conversations, yeah? But one thing with the Maxwell lady, what she would do is all of her targets, or like the victims in this case, would be previous victims from a previous situation, you know what I mean? So then by the time she comes along, she's some sort of queen or whatever that's offering them, hey, you're beautiful enough to be a model, you know what I mean? Oh. Hey, do you want to get a gig as a masseuse, sorry, you know what I mean? And then you can come to this island or whatever, blah, 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 everything's paid for. But first, to be the best masseuse, you know, we'll train you up on a quick course. And guess what? Bring 3 of your friends, 4 of your friends. And then from there, 12-week course, yeah? Or X amount of course. And then by the time you get to the island, boom, Jeffrey's there. and obviously one thing leads to another that happens, you know. And by the time it happens like it's a sensitive conversation. But by the time it happens so quick, you know what I mean?
It's too late.
That you don't register it, and then it becomes sort of normalcy. But then now also there's this sort of hierarchy that's been established as well. Now you got this powerful man that you work for, and you're sort of in debt to because like you're doing a therapy course.
Eating his stuff, you're drinking his.
Yeah.
alcohol, you're
Have to
doing
repay,
all
yeah.
these bits,
And then on top of that, it's like, how are you even gonna like tell someone else that such and such has happened? You know, like one of the victims I've seen in the documentary, it happened to her. Her sister was on the island, and it happened to her as well. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's like if it was so bad, you think, okay, cool, like I won't let it happen to my sister, type of thing. You know what I mean? But then it happens to her sister as well. So it's like it happens so quick. But that's the thing, bro. Money, influence, and you got to be a nutcase as well. In the case of like Jeffrey as well, where it's like, you know.
Allah protect us.
Even like Stephen Hawking, bro. You know that guy right there, yeah? He knew about Jeffrey Epstein's case because by the time he visited Ireland, because they also have the year stamped on it and whatnot, they had presented the case of Jeffrey Epstein and then his victims to the courts. And Stephen Hawking was there a year later. So it wasn't like at this point like you didn't know or like you were on the island and it's like whatever. It's like, hey, you know about it. It was in the media and you still went.
Do you reckon they unplugged him?
They should have.
That was a dark joke. My apologies.
Yeah. But wasn't that the
What
joke
do
made
you
at...
think
No, was it? No. Anyway.
Did I wrap it up there? I wanted to hear what the top G said about Pinocchio there. We finished on
Yeah,
that?
that's a good point. So it kind of ties in. Wasn't
It's
about
funny.
Susan's had a lot of sugar, by the way.
Yeah. You know what? He was like, he's speaking about something called karmic retribution. In, Satanists and the Illuminati basically was speaking about them on a podcast at length.
But a little bit sounds like that book. You remember Ashraf recommended? What's that one?
Outwitting the Devil?
Outwitting the Devil.
Oh, I forgot about
What's
that.
this?
Unbelievable. You should listen to it.
But
Alright, if I
some-
do, I'll come back. I'm
I've said it on an episode before. Unreal.
You have.
Yeah.
Just keep me away from sugar. But so what happens is he's speaking about karmic retribution. Basically, the Satanists and the Illuminati, whatever it is, they believe that karma exists. So if they do something, it's gonna come back to affect them unless they've given you a warning that they're doing it. So his allegations are that a lot of pop culture, like songs and movies and TV shows, they all house, like, have you ever heard of Pizzagate as well?
Pizzagate, yeah.
Ali's research after
Yeah.
inshallah, but I'll go into that later. I went into a rabbit hole, but so he's basically like, so I can't sell you something. So for example, if I'm selling poison apples, I have to let you know they're poison apples. I can't just tell you they're just good apples, they're normal, they're not going to kill you, whatever it is, but and then you eat them and then you die and you get poisoned. They believe that karma's going to get them and it's going to happen to them because they try to deceive you. But if I tell you they're poison apples, but I tell you, nothing's happening, bro. They're beautiful,
Hey,
they taste amazing.
What
this,
Iblis
that.
done, pretty much. You talk Iblis, yeah?
No, but I'm not talking about that. This is an example of what
Oh.
this is the example that he used. So he's like,
sorry.
no, he's like, so they'll beautify the poison apple so much that you want to eat it, you taste it, and you die. But they'll say, hey, but you decided to eat it on your own, but I gave you a warning that it was poison. He's like, you know how the way you have all of these movies that have, people getting abducted and certain things happening that they kind of code or they cryptically, like they allude to something going on in the world, but they're not really telling you that this happened. Oh, that's so bad. And then you watch the movie and you're like, that's so trippy. And then you just move on with your life.
Yeah.
Yeah, like Get Out, for example. Have you watched Get Out?
Yeah, yeah.
Bro,
Yeah.
apparently there was a story of a guy where like
It's based on a true story?
They used to kidnap Africans, yeah?
Yeah.
They used to say, oh, I like their teeth, they're very strong, or their big white teeth. So they used to kidnap Africans and pull their teeth out.
Subhanallah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've heard that before, yeah.
Bro, this is all legit stuff. Like, there's some weird stuff going on, and they're hiding it within these
Movies.
pop culture
Entertainment.
things, and they're throwing in Emmys and
But wait,
all
so
this
but
kind of
relate
stuff.
that to, so when these
So
things happen, what's he
they
saying?
believe, or from that, I was thinking, like, put two and two together. They don't put Pinocchio out there for no reason. Everyone looks at this guy as an evil man, but wait a second, why were they cryptically telling us that something was going on in the background?
Yeah, exactly.
Like there's truth to the stories and stuff like that.
So, bro, this is the thing. Like I said, karmic retribution.
Mhm.
These guys want to do things, but you can't outwardly advertise. I've got an island where I'm taking underage women to get touched up by people who are rich and famous. You
Yeah.
can't say that.
Yeah, fact.
Astaghfirullah, I'm sorry, trigger warning. But
You
but
can't say
basically,
trigger warning afterwards.
yeah, well,
Bad.
You can't.
Just drop it.
but yeah. So basically, what I'm saying is, they need to tell us in a way, so that we know about it. But
It's still happening low-key. Like, it's not...
it's happening, and they
Yeah,
can't
behind the
get
scenes.
can't make retribution because of it.
Okay,
They can't cop it.
plot twist to the story.
Go ahead.
Do you think then Top G is their example of this?
Like as in Top G is being used by
The Matrix for this?
for
Like,
what?
he is the
There's
example.
no way something just banged, bro.
Twice, yeah. And I heard it twice while you talking about Satan and stuff.
Guys,
And I keep looking at him.
stop taking photos. Go check the door, bro.
Well, I heard it twice, fam. But no, it was from there.
Is that a door outside?
Just
And-
go check over his
Bro, I'm
kid.
telling you, bro.
All these
But
stories,
do you,
bro.
do you get what I'm saying, though?
Yeah.
Huh?
Just check the
We got the
quick-
two.
What was like half a second?
Guys, if we're done this podcast,
It takes 2 seconds to
live
cross the
stream this,
quarter.
bro. While I live stream.
Hey, no, but do you get what
Yeah,
I mean?
man.
Do you get what I mean, Sus?
I know what you're talking about.
Like,
Look,
their Top G is their
all I can-
scapegoat for this scenario where he abducted women and stuff.
all I can tell you is, I don't know nothing.
You're
Yeah.
just reiterating.
Yeah.
Don't
Go
come
on.
after me. This is all alleged, but nah. To be honest with you, bro, I was looking at this for what it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know who's in the right, who's in the wrong, and like when you look at society, when you look at the masses now, where the liars are being believed and the believers, sorry, the ones who are telling the truth
A
are
lie.
being called liars.
Yeah.
we can't really tell. So at this point, it's like, what does the deen say? Stick to what the deen says.
Mhm.
Stay away from everything that you can.
Yeah.
That's
Oh,
against the deen, against Allah's decree. Listen,
You can't
if you're
go
not-
down that whole
if
rabbit
you're not
hole and then
Muslim-
just go.
If
say-
you're not Muslim, it's a good time to revert. That's all I'm saying.
That's enough sugar for us, eh?
Alhamdulillah. Wrap it up there.
Bro.
Beautiful.
Hey, can I ask a question? Honestly, yeah, like, a serious question, yeah.
Only because
I know there's time, but we got time for this one class question, yeah.
Khan's already there.
Cool. You know, with all this stuff that happens in the world and stuff, yeah, does it ever make you feel uneasy to a degree that like this type of stuff like is possibly legit?
With what? The everything?
Like, just think of everything Sus was speaking for the last 20 minutes.
Entertainment?
Talking about the things in the shadows.
No,
It's-
that these or like essentially these conspiracy theories, people being actually touched up and bang, you know, these islands that exist, the satanic thingamajig.
It's hard to say who to trust, man, because you just don't know what people are doing behind doors. You meet them, they seem like nice people. You just don't. It's really hard to trust people.
Mm.
That's the main thing, man.
Good answer. Wrap the episode up. Go.
Wrap it up.
Yeah, wrap it up.
Thanks everyone for listening to the episode. I hope you guys obviously enjoyed it. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe, and we'll see you next week.